You talked about your favorite part of the day. How is a typical work day? How does a typical work day look like for you?
Yeah. I mentioned a couple of times that I don't like variety, and that's certainly the case for a typical workday. So I actually have three typical workdays
Oh,
that I'd like to oscillate between to keep myself from, not going insane doing the same thing over and over. Um, and the way that I broke this down is you basically there are focused planning days first, right? So there are
hmm,
some days where I might not even touch code. I'm just gonna sit back and be like, hey, this is what I need to do. This is how much time I have to do it. Prioritize things, think about like the general approach as how you would solve a problem, do a little
yeah,
bit of investigation, and that goes a long way. Not only does it recharge your brain from just like coding incessantly, but especially from like my marketing days, I've like firsthand learned the value of like planning well and then executing. It actually
hmm,
works,
okay,
and it's a worthwhile investment. So I'll have days where I just plan. Then I have days where I just code. Like I've come up with a plan. I've driven myself crazy just looking at a Word document, and I really want to program now. So let's just get that done. Open up your code editor. Try things out in simulation. Like really just go deep into a problem. And then there would be the kind of the more focused experimental or robot days, and this is specific to the robotics world, right? Um, Again, I do like programming from home and relying on simulation, just kind of sitting at home, drinking my coffee, whatever. Then when it's time to go to the office, I kind of have things ready to go. Like if I want to test things out, like schedule time, schedule focused experiments. Um, you know, Go in, collect the data that you want, talk to people while you're in the office. Bounce ideas, and then take that data back and then kind of keep iterating on that. So I know I like cycling through. I guess the answer was like planning, then a lot of coding, and then actually like going out and collecting your data. Or
yeah.
in the case of other equivalent disciplines, it might be like actually run an experiment.
Hmm.
Yeah. So,
That's a really interesting view on it. I came across this productivity idea that each one of us has this sort of two roles. One is that of a manager and that of a technician. And if we try to play the two roles simultaneously, we are not very productive. So
yeah.
what I like about your view is that one day is just for management and planning, right? And then you create a plan, and then let's say another day is just for coding, and then doing the things. Maybe you define it in a to-do list, or I don't know how you do it, and then you just stick with it. And then of course with robotics you have to deal with the hardware, so you devote a specific days just for that. So this I think this is a really, it's a simple idea, but it's really, I think, helpful, because otherwise you can make a plan and then you're like, no, that is too difficult to do, and then you don't stick with it, and it's an
Yeah.
endless cycle. So yeah, I think this is a really profound point that you mentioned. um,
Yeah, and it helps you. It also helps your brain like develop the desire to do the next thing. Like
yeah.
if you take a whole day to like not even touch code, and you need to do it, then you'll wake up the next being like, oh my god, like I need to start writing this. Doesn't really happen if you're like doing it 24/7.
Ah, yeah,
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 yeah. Yeah, oh,
so
that's also like, so because, for example, you like coding, and then if you say that, okay, 1 or 2 days I'm focusing on other things, and then you would be excited to go back
yeah.
to programming. That's cool.